first-year Padres manager, and it's brought to you by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Xander Bogaerts in the leadoff spot today. Fernando Tatis, then Manny Machado. In the middle, it's Miguel Andujar, Gavin Sheets, last night's hero for the Padres, Ramon Laureano in the middle, and then it's Castellanos, Fermin, and the speedy Bryce Johnson in center field. And Vinny, there are the numbers for Kyle Harrison. He has been terrific for the Brewers this year.
He pitched 4 innings on Saturday against the New York Yankees, where he gave up 2 earned runs, working around 4 hits and 4 walks. Looking to be a little bit more clean in this one, trying to avoid the walks, but he's been one of the more pleasant surprises of the season for the Brewers in this rotation. He's really emerging as a reliable and valuable starter for them. Today's defense behind Kyle Harrison brought to you by Landmark Credit Union. Jackson Churio in left, Garrett Mitchell in center, Sal Frelick in right. Around the infield you have Rengifo, Hamilton, Terang, Vaughn, and Gary Sanchez is behind the plate in the day game for Kyle Harrison.
Crew chief is Lance Barksdale. He'll call the balls and strikes. Will Little over at first base. Second base umpires Ryan Addington. And the man who had the plate last night, Ryan Wills, is over at third today. The leisure spot for the umpires. Roof is halfway closed, but it is officially open for the first time here on May 14th. We call that the Ryan Braun rule. When it's halfway closed, it cuts down on the shadows. Today's first pitch presented by Aurora Healthcare. Lance Barksdale says play ball. Xander Bogaerts digs in, and Harrison's first pitch is fouled away, and away we go on a Thursday afternoon. Padres will be headed to Seattle after the game. Be their second meeting with the Mariners. And the Brewers headed to Minnesota. A little bit different travel itinerary for these two teams. Nice and tidy road trip for the Brewers from Milwaukee to Minneapolis down to Chicago to play the Cubs, and then right back here at American Family Field. Swing and a miss. Chase the high fastball. Harrison utilizes that high fastball well. He's one of the few Brewers pitchers, Vinny, that does not throw a cut fastball. Ditched that one in spring training.
Yeah, actually, he was throwing that pitch last year. The Boston Red Sox tried to teach him that pitch, and the Brewers have just simplified his arsenal. So they not only moved him over to that first base side of the rubber, which has done wonders for him, just kind of cleaned some things up with his delivery, helped with some of the mistakes that he was leaving arm side as well, but they simplified his arsenal.
Bogaerts pops this one up. Terang and Frelick. It'll be Terang to make the call and the catch, and that's how the day starts for Kyle Harrison.
And let's check out today's Miller Time game plan. Hey, you got to flush that one last night and just fight back today. I mean, that was a gut punch loss in yesterday's game. Give yourself about an hour, shower up, get dressed, get in the car, flush it. And in baseball, BA, after a gut punch loss like that, you almost have to not care. You know, you wouldn't really say that in any other walk of life. Don't care. But this game, there's so many frustrations, so much failure you're dealing with. You just kind of have to totally forget about it and move on.
Well, Miz was special yesterday once again. He's emerging as one of the great talents in Major League Baseball, one of the biggest names in the game. With every start, he's lighting up the radar gun. He's doing things we have never seen from a starting pitcher ever. And he was brilliant once again last night, with 7 innings last night. Fernando Tatis with 1 away, ahead in the count 2-1. There has been this notion in the Brewers starting pitching. It's been next man up. One guy after another has done the job. Changeup from Harrison. He's got a good one. And Tatis out in front of that one. 2-2 the count.
Another pitch. This is new to his arsenal. It's that kick change. What is the kick change? He just kind of raises up that middle finger, that index finger, and just throws it like a fastball.
Fastball just missed. 98 on the radar gun right there. Close pitch. Gary Sanchez for a moment thought about tapping the helmet. Wisely did not. Sanchez and Contreras are high volume challengers. And he goes right back to the gas, and he strikes out Tatis. First strikeout for Harrison. 2 gone here in the first.
Yeah, right down the middle. 97-mile-per-hour fastball. And look how he backspins that ball, BA. And what that does is it creates a deceptive movement to the fastball. It defies gravity a little bit, and hitters are swinging underneath it this year at a high rate.
Boo birds rain down on Manny Machado, always and forever here in Milwaukee. Machado off to a slow start at the plate this year. He's hitting just 188 coming into play today. He does have 6 homers and 20 RBIs. This Padres team lived up to their reputation exactly last night. They have struggled through the early parts of games. They have not late in games. They lead the majors in 9th inning runs scored, and they scored 3 of them with 1 swing of the bat last night. And there is power up and down this lineup that aids in their late game clutch motif this year. It was Sheets last night, but Machado has had a number of moments for the Padres already this season as well, despite the low average.
And they've outscored opponents 77-51 in the 7th inning or later this season. And with that great bullpen, BA, that's the reason why they're sitting in first place in the NL West, despite being a bottom 3rd offense in terms of runs scored per game.
0-2 the count. Another one comes, and Machado lays off a changeup. San Diego enters play today a half a game ahead of the Dodgers in the National League West. 25-17 is the Padres record. Brewers come in at 23-17. They're 2.5 back of the Cubs, only 1 back in the loss column to Chicago. Brewers have played 3 fewer games than the Cubs at this point of the year. There's a liner into right field, a base hit. Left that fastball up, and Machado gets on top of it, shoots one to right for a 2-out single.
A long battle with Manny Machado, almost like he just played pepper with this ball right here. He was sick of fouling, pitches off, takes a short compact swing, gets on top of it, and hits a single into right field for a 2-out base hit.
So a runner at first for Miguel Andujar, today's designated hitter for San Diego. Former Yankee Andujar fits right in the middle of this Padres batting order. Got a first-year manager, Craig Stammen. He's done a nice job for San Diego this year. National League West had 2 first-year manager experiments, and they could not be going in opposite directions right now. Tony Vitello with the Giants, been a struggle. Craig Stammen, first-year skipper, hadn't coached, had been a big league pitcher, then into the front office in an advisory role, and he's done a great job with this Padre team.
Yeah, he really has.
There's a line drive into left field, a base hit. Got to run this one down. Machado on his way to 3rd. Chourio gets it back to the infield, and they'll hold Machado at 3rd. It's going to be a double for Andujar. Just went down and got one on a changeup. And suddenly the Padres threaten here, 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs.
This changeup actually cut almost like a slider. It didn't get through it, kind of got around it a little bit, and then it's right into the bat path of Miguel Andujar, the free swinger. It's a hard line drive into the corner. Manny Machado certainly not running like he once could. Not able to score. Chourio gets it in quickly to keep him at 3rd.
Here's Gavin Sheets now. Gavin Sheets dealt a severe blow last night. Brewers had a 1-0 lead, 2 outs in the 9th. There was a little soft line drive prior to Sheets that was almost caught by Terang. I mean, inches away from making the play to win the game. Abner Uribe hung a slider, and Sheets did not miss it. Sent one into the Padres bullpen in right center. That one's right by him. And this was the moment last night. San Diego got the big strike they needed. Sheets was down in the count at that point, and one swing of the bat, a 3-run homer.
It took the air out of the stadium. It's quite the gut punch swing right there by Gavin Sheets. He has 3 go-ahead home runs in the 9th inning or later this season.
It's amazing.
Yeah. That hasn't happened this early in the season since 1901.
2nd and 3rd, 2-2 the count on Sheets. And he's out in front of a big slurve. That's the combo pitch. The slurve the slider and the curve. That's how you get slurve. Kind of an old school pitch that the Brewers have put back in the arsenal of Harrison. High pitch count first inning, number 27, and it's 3-2 now on Sheets. Ramon Laureano is on deck. Full count. Here he comes. Ground ball, gloved by Rengifo. The throw is in time. Nicely done. Luis Rengifo. Excellent defender over at third base. Almost won a Gold Glove one year. Made a Gold Glove caliber play. What a day for Dominic Cotroneo, our stats guy. Potawatomi Sportsbook lineup for the Brew Crew. Jackson Chourio, Bryce Terang, William Contreras will start it. Contreras is in there as the DH. You saw Gary Sanchez behind the plate. And it's Griffin Canning on the mound here, Vinny. His third start of the season. A shaky couple of starts to get his year going.
It was a late start to the season because he ruptured his Achilles last June 27th. And this is just his third start. Last pitch on Friday against the Cardinals. Gave up 6 in that one, but it was all in that last inning of work. There's some defensive miscues behind him. This guy's got good stuff. Don't let that ERA fool you. Got an excellent changeup, just like Michael King did last night. He's got a good slider to righties as well.
Just turned 30 earlier this week, Griffin Canning. Second career start against the Brewers. His lone start came 2 years ago when he pitched for the Angels. Pitched 5 innings in that game, gave up 6 runs, 4 earned. He's found a home with San Diego. Jackson Chourio been on base in all 7 games that he has played this year. A fractured hand during the WBC for Team Venezuela cost him the first 6 weeks of the season. And just continues to get on base. He has 3 runs batted and he's still looking for his first home run of the season.
That's quieted it a little bit for Jackson Chourio in this series. He was off to such a hot start after coming off the IL.
Chourio 2 for 8 against San Diego in the first 2 games. Two balls, 2 strikes on Chourio, lead man for the Brewers in the first. Had a good hack at it. Count stays at 2-2.
Canning will make mistakes with that fastball. If you can lay off the chase pitches, the slider and the changeup outside the zone, and get into some favorable counts, he will leave you a fastball to hit, just like that last one.
With the roof open and the panels open, there is some wind current through here. That's a swing and a foul, or is it a miss? Looks like a foul ball. Fermin pounced on it. He was not sure. Home plate umpire Lance Barksdale. Kind of a moderate foul ball call here.
Yeah, I'm not sure Lance Barksdale knew what the call should have been. A lot of times these umpires, BA, they react off the hitter's reaction, and Jackson clearly fouled it off, so he stayed at home plate.
In Lance's defense, that foul ball went right off his face mask. So.
Right.
Lance is the crew chief for this 4-man Major League umpiring crew. A quick bat right there by Chourio. That's a good sign. He fouled it off, but you see that kind of swing, kind of gives you an idea Chourio is dialing in this pitcher right now. He had 9 pitch at bat to start the game offensively for the Brewers. And down he goes. So Chourio strikes out. Got into the pitch count though, saw a lot of different pitches. What a good leadoff hitter should do.
Defense behind Canning. Ramon Laureano in left. Bryce Johnson gets the start in center. Nick Castellanos back there in right. Machado at third. Xander Bogaerts at short. Fernando Tatis Jr. just his 11th career start at second base. Gavin Sheets at first. And Freddie Fermin behind the plate.
Tatis, you saw the great and the not so great with Tatis at second base yesterday. Made a couple of outstanding plays, but then got lost in no man's land a couple of times that led to a Brewers run. He's not too familiar with the position.
And what the Padres are trying to do is they're trying to get more offense by playing Fernando Tatis at second and put Nick Castellanos out there in right field, especially against the lefty. That weakens you at 2 spots, both in right and at second.
Sungmoon Song is the one who's on the bench. He plays second when Tatis is in right. Turang getting ahead in the count, 3-0. Bryce hitting second today for the Brewers. Jumping up into that 2 spot behind Chourio. Brewers have 3 lefties and a switch hitter in the lineup. Rengifo is the switch batter. And it's ball 4, 4 consecutive pitches. So you got 9 pitches to Chourio, ends in a strikeout. Then on 4 consecutive, a ball 4 presented by Feldko sends Turang to first base. Here's Contreras now. And there is the designated hitter today. Contreras is an everyday guy. He's one of the few catchers that his team relies on as a hitter. Even in the days he doesn't catch, he's typically in there as the DH. There are not many of those guys in Major League Baseball. One of those guys, Cal Raleigh, just went on the injured list. He'll be on the IL when the Padres head to Seattle for a series that starts tomorrow. Salvador Perez with the Royals. He's a young Wisconsinite turning into that guy with the Atlanta Braves.
Wow.
Drake Baldwin, who homered again last night. Rookie of the Year last year, Madison guy.
He might sign the biggest deal for a catcher ever.
Will Smith would be the other. He's probably at the top of the food chain as far as catchers who bring it offensively and defensively, but Contreras is on that list. He is the team leader right now, Vinny, in hits and RBIs, and doing all of that from the catching position. It's impressive.
Yeah, Wild Bill, he's a bulldog back there, always wants to play. He has emerged as, you know, not only the leader of the pitching staff, but he is one of the leader of the position group as well.
2-2 with the speedy Turang at first base. And that one misses. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch count is soaring right now for Griffin Canning. Gary Sanchez due next. The former Padre. See if Turang's on the move here. 3-2, 1 out. Contreras does bounce into a number of double play balls. Might see him run here. Fermin's got a cannon of an arm back there. Canning's ready. Full count with 1 away. There he goes, and that pitch is low. Didn't go. Checks his swing. Back-to-back walks, and the Brewers with a chance here in the first inning. Pitch count is high. 2 on with 1 out. And a power hitting Gary Sanchez coming up.
If you're a pitcher that's going to rely on hitters chasing outside the zone, especially on your secondary offerings, this is not a good matchup for you, having to face the Milwaukee Brewers. Up and down the lineup, the Brewers acquire and they put into the lineup guys who just know the strike zone, and that's what you're seeing early on right here against Griffin Canning.
Sanchez on the Wisconsin Lottery home run leaderboard. He's got 5, but it has been a month, exactly a month, since his last home run, April 14th. When he hits them, they are usually hit very well. He's got a big tape measure out when he hits home runs. 405 feet on average for his 5 home runs this year. Canning starts him with a strike. Sanchez was a Padre back in 2023. Went from the Mets to the Padres that year. Was a Brewer the year after in 24. Now it's his second tour as a Brewer after a year in Baltimore last season. Two on, one away. Griffin Canning, a 1-1. Sanchez takes a ball.
Yeah, you would think Gary Sanchez, big power hitter, would be overly aggressive and trying to chase power. He doesn't. Consistent quality at bats for Gary Sanchez so far through 6-7 weeks of the season.
He sees a lot of pitches per plate appearance. He's comfortable hitting with 2 strikes. That's probably half the battle. He believes in himself with 2 strikes.
100%. Even against Mason Miller last night, is a pretty good at bat, even though he did get sawed off late. Still, he is a power hitter who can hit and knows the strike zone.
3-1, hitters count here, and Sanchez draws the walk, and Canning, he's not missing by much, but he is missing regularly on that outside edge. 3 consecutive walks. The bases are loaded with 1 out, and it's going to be Andrew Vaughn. What a spot for Vaughn here in the first inning. And timeout is called. Ben Fritz is the acting pitching coach this week for the Padres. Ruben Niebla is away from the ball club with family matters. Our old friend A.J. Ellis, the proud Wisconsin resident, is out in the bullpen as the bullpen coach this week in uniform.
He's a team cheese transplant. A.J. Ellis lives in Franklin now.
There he is.
There he is.
Grinding already.
That's what this Brewers lineup will do to you. Always waiting by the phone. Never know. Things can get out of hand quickly. Bases loaded with 1 out. And one of the best run producers the Brewers have in their lineup, Andrew Vaughn, up at the bat.
Brewers lead the majors in hits and RBIs with bases loaded this year. And they've got that situation in front of them right now in the first inning. Andrew Vaughn missed those 5+ weeks with a hand injury. It's his first plate appearance with the bases loaded this year. It was last week in St. Louis. He came up with 2 on in the first inning and popped his first home run of the season. A 3-run shot set up the Brewers for the rest of the day. Brewers scored 4 runs in that first inning against the Cardinals. And until a loss last night, they hadn't lost since. They ripped off 5 straight wins.
Well, Fermin just tried to challenge that pitch, and home plate umpire Lance Barksdale did not give him the opportunity to do so. It took too long.
Interesting to watch with the veteran umpire. You got 2 seconds. 2-0 the count. And Vaughn took a rip at it. Chased one though.
Yeah, not a 2-0 pitch you want to attack. This one is above the zone, actually. Out of character a little bit for Andrew Vaughn to go chasing up there.
2-1 now. Vaughn with the bases loaded, 1 out. And that one misses low. Canning is on the struggle bus right now. 3-1.
Cannot find the release point on that changeup. That one missing badly below the zone. Yeah, looking for 1 pitch, 1 spot right here if you're Andrew Vaughn, looking for that fastball.
He's only thrown 11 strikes of the 28 pitches he's thrown. Brewers have the Padres starter on the ropes right away. They have to cash in here. 3-1. Hitters count for Andrew Vaughn. 3-2 now. That was upstairs too. It looked like a strike, but up in the strike zone. What will Hifo do next?
Yeah, hard sinker to the inner part of the plate. Andrew Vaughn fouling it off, but you got to imagine he's going to come right back with that fastball. 3-2.
Vaughn's hit 2 grand slams in his career. One of them was last year against the Cubs. 3-2. And Vaughn takes ball 4. RBI the easy way. 4th consecutive walk. Brewers are on the board first. Still only 1 out. Still bases loaded. Canning cannot find it.
Yeah, throwing the changeup right there. 3-2. And not sure of that call right there by Freddie Fermin unless Canning is shaking to that pitch, but nowhere close for the first run of the game for the Brewers.
Well, here comes a hot hitter. 3 hits last night. Luis Rengifo, who made a sparkling play at third to end the top of the first. Chance to be a run producer here, and he takes a ball. He's in our Working on a Win, brought to you by the Home Depot. Betting on this homestand, Rengifo hitting .385. He has 3 walks, scored 3 runs, and OPS at .885.
I love the approach he was taking last night, even taking Mason Miller to the opposite field.
Generous call. Ron Marinaccio is loosening in the San Diego bullpen in the first inning. 1-2 now on Rengifo.
Yeah, you got to put up a crooked number right here with Canning on the ropes, totally just out of sorts. And take a look at this foul tip right off the toe of Freddie Fermin.
Man.
And they have their other catcher on the IL right now with a broken big toe, Luis Camposano. Padres are thin at the catching position.
Big spot in this game in the very first inning. 1-2 the count. Brewers have a run in. Rengifo takes a ball. 2-2 now. Look at the pitch count. 34 already for Canning.
Just his 3rd start of the year. Remember, he's coming off, the rehab from that Achilles tendon rupture he suffered last June.
Only threw 83 pitches his last time out. And that's in the dirt for me. Great block back there. Knocked the pitch calm off his shin guard.
It's that spike breaking ball right there, and Fermin keeping it close, keeping the runners where they are with the bases loaded.
3-2 the count now. How long is Craig Stammen going to stick with Canning? The Brewers have a chance right now to chase the starting pitcher in the first inning.
I can imagine if he walks him, that's going to be it. We'll see.
4 consecutive walks. 3-2 the count. Rengifo, a shot through, base hit. In to score is Contreras. Sanchez on his way to the plate. Luis Rengifo stays hot. 2 RBI single. It is 3-0 in this first inning. Still only 1 away.
3 hits last night for Rengifo, and he comes up with a big hit in this first inning for the Milwaukee Brewers. A 2 RBI single. That's on the changeup. That one hung over the middle of the plate, and Rengifo's all over it. Barrels it up the middle. And look at El Gary. That's his best 90 right there.
Scored easily. And Rengifo delivers with a clutch hit in the first inning. Now it's Garrett Mitchell. 1st and 3rd, 1 away. Vaughn the runner at 3rd. Rengifo at first base. And Mitchell on the ground, gloved, throw to the plate. Now Vaughn in a rundown. Vaughn trying to stay in a rundown long enough, and he's going to do it. Nicely done. Both runners advance. Vaughn was clearly running on contact there. Padres execute and get the out, but 2 runners in scoring position.
And the reason why you want to do that, the reason why you want to go from 3rd base, you want to stay out of the double play. Anything on the ground, and that's what Vaughn does. He gets in a rundown, and he almost beats Manny Machado on a foot race to home. Is able to tag him out right before he gets to home plate, but good job by Vaughn to stay in the rundown.
It's a good job to advance the runners. Vaughn not blessed with great speed, but showed some quickness there. Now Sal Frelick here, 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs. 39th pitch of the inning is a breaking ball for a strike. 8th batter of the inning. Brewers are trying to get greedy right now. 1 more hit here. Should score 2 runs if it touches the outfield grass. Put a 5 spot up here in the first inning against San Diego would go a long way.
After struggling to score in last night's game, for sure.
1 ball, 1 strike on Frelick. 1-2 now. 40-pitch inning. That was number 41 from Canning. It's going to be a short start for him regardless. Canning ready for a 1-2. And Frelick takes a ball. Brewers' offensive philosophy is called drag them. Drag these pitchers through the mud in the particular innings. They've got them in the mud right here. There's a called strike 3. Frelick's going to challenge this. I don't think he's going to win. He called it immediately. Lance Barksdale gave it to him. ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile, and that is strike 3.
Call is confirmed. Strike 3. That is out. Milwaukee loses 1 challenge.
So the Brewers down to 1 challenge, but a productive first. Canning struggles with 4 walks.
With a 3-0 lead in the series finale, and talking to Carlos Villanueva, special advisor to Matt Arnold and the front office on the pitching side for the Brewers, and of course a former pitcher here, talking about this young starting rotation and how they have performed in the first 40 games of the season. And they come in with a .336 earned run average, 3rd best in the National League. They have 11 quality starts in those first 40 games, 221 strikeouts, and holding opponents to a .212 average. And he said, you know, the line for them is always, can we outperform our very high internal expectations? And he said this young group, if you had to assess them so far, they're probably a tick above what we expected, with Chris Hook, Jim Henderson, Juan Sandoval working with these guys diligently. And he said, you know, considering their relative youth, their inexperience, you just never know what to expect at the beginning of the season. Those first couple turns through the rotation, very happy with the progress that they have seen from this group. We've seen that in this series with Brandon Sproat, Jacob Mizorowski, who was fantastic last night, now today with Kyle Harrison. So he said they're all progressing as we hoped. They're all in the right pace. Obviously, they're all at different spots and working on different things, but overall, guys, they've probably exceeded the expectations that they had.
It's been unbelievable what this young starting staff has done, as we're taking a look at Ramon Laureano punching out right there against Kyle Harrison. I mean, look, if you average the amount of major league starts that this group has had, they're by far the lowest amount of starts, 22.2 starts. If you take all of their starts, average them out. Next closest, 46 starts if you're looking at other starting staffs. Amazing what this young staff has done.
Castellanos dumps one into right field right off the end of the bat. And a base hit, 3rd hit already for San Diego. Yeah, these guys, you know, you talk about the pitching coaches, they are probably more team psychologists than they are game plan coaches right now. But as these pitchers start to develop, and because confidence, they all have great stuff, but they got to believe they belong in the big leagues. And once you kind of tip those scales, now you get into the good stuff. We're already seeing that with Mizorowski. We saw it with Brandon Sproat, who made an appearance on MLB Network today, coming off his first major league win. So that's the beauty of watching these guys at such a young age all kind of rally with each other. And the bottom line is the Brewers are putting a great talent on the mound every day as a starting pitcher. They're going to have their lumps, but for the most part, all of these guys project as, you know, top 3 starters on some level. Harrison may have been the biggest surprise of that group. Slow roller out to 3rd. Rengifo's got some time, makes the play to 1st. It'll be the 2nd out. Castellanos to 2nd base. That'll give us a chance to hear a word from Auto Owners Insurance.
We customize your policy, so when the unexpected happens, you know you're covered. That's simple human sense.
2 gone, runner at 2nd for Bryce Johnson, speedy center fielder.
And BA getting back just a little bit, just to want to add one layer to that. There's so many different parts of a pitcher's development, and what the Brewers and Chris Hook, Jim Henderson, they do such a great job of. They don't get ahead of themselves. They don't try and teach this kid, which some organizations do, the development of maybe a a particular pitch, or we're going to add a cutter. Well, he's not ready to add the cutter because his delivery's not where it needs to be. The Brewers have done such a great job of that.
Well, these guys, Chris Hook, Jim Henderson, they've all been organizational pitching coaches, so it's totally in their DNA. All those years in the minor leagues, both pitchers were overachievers as major league pitchers. I mean, Chris Hook signed out of a tryout camp and made it to the major leagues. You talk about a success story.
Right.
And he knows what it's like to be on the bottom rung and to work through that. Jim Henderson emerged as the Brewers closer at one point in his career. Nobody ever expected that out of his career, so they know, they've been there. Swing and a miss. Johnson chases a high fastball. Harrison has hit 98 today. He's back in his cruising speed now at 95. He was pumped up in that first inning. 2-2 with 2 outs and a runner at second. And he got him. That's what you needed, a shutdown inning. Brewers get 3 in the bottom of the first. Harrison comes out, puts up a 0 in the second.
.com, from official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Brewers.
David Hamilton leads off for Milwaukee. Number 9 hitter starts the second inning. Brewers brought 8 batters to the plate in the first. Only 1 hit. There were 4 walks in the inning. Rengifo had the big hit. Drove in 2. Now Hamilton's got a base hit. Slaps one to the opposite field. Good start for David Hamilton, who gets a call at shortstop today.
And take a look at where this third baseman's playing. Way in, creates some extra holes for David Hamilton. Just slaps one right through that 6 hole as Xander Bogaerts is playing him way up the middle. Watch for him to not be very patient standing on first base. Look for him to run.
Griffin Canning threw 43 pitches in the first inning. Gives up a leadoff single here in the second. Now it's Chourio. And Canning throws it away. Hamilton can fly. He's thinking about third. He's on his way. Tatis got a great arm. The throw is late. Up the line. And David Hamilton popping the clutch from first to third on an error by the pitcher.
And this ball did not get very far into right field, and David Hamilton's just that fast where he's able to go from first to third. And it's just kind of a whiff by Gavin Sheets. That's a catchable ball. And take a look. David Hamilton's his own base coach right there. He's looking where that ball is. Fernando Tatis slow to get to it, and he gets in there easily.
Well, it is a pleasure to watch that guy run. It's amazing how he gets to full speed so fast. Infield in, runner at third for Chourio. Canning cannot be long for this game at this point. It has been a mess to start it. Bases loaded, walk to Vaughn, gave up a 2 RBI single to Rengifo. Those were the 3 runs in the first, and now Chourio in a golden spot to drive one in. Can be the loneliest place in the game on that mound on a day like this if you're Griffin Canning.
Yeah. Even anything close doesn't seem to be landing for him, and the Brewers are not chasing even the close pitches.
Wants to reset it here.
Yeah, start to not trust yourself out there on the mound.
2 balls, no strikes on Chourio. Chourio's had some good rips. This game started for Canning with a strikeout of Chourio, but it was a 9-pitch at bat. Kind of set up the rest of the inning. Canning bookended the first inning with strikeouts, Chourio and Frelick, but a lot of damage in between. 2-1. Chourio fouls that one away. 2-2 now on Jackson. Brewers at the top of their order. Only in the second. They lead 3-0. Hungry for more here. Full count. Turang anxiously waiting. One of those days hitters can't wait to get in the box.
Fighting to get to the bat rack.
50 pitches for Griffin Canning already. Nobody out in the second inning. Churio lifts this one in the air to shallow left. Laureano coming in. Hamilton will not challenge the arm. Laureano throws it well. And Churio flies out. He'll be disappointed with that. One away. Brings up Turang. Turang gave us one of the signature moments on this homestand and of the season with his walk-off home run against the Yankees Sunday. Brewers swept the Yankees, won the opener against San Diego Tuesday night, and they let one get away last night. But a 5-game winning streak. They've got a chance to go 5-1 on this homestand as Turang unable to check his swing. Swing of the year for Bryce Turang, his first career walk-off against David Bednar, the Yankees closer. Wisconsin Lottery home run number 6. And sent everybody home on a Sunday afternoon.
First pitch curveball from Bednar, and Bryce Turang was talking about how many at-bats that he had faced David Bednar when he was with the Pittsburgh Pirates, so he kind of knew what that curveball was going to do, the shape of it. He jumped all over it.
He's been excellent with runners in scoring position this year. 3 of his 6 homers have come with a runner at second and or third. Got a runner at third here with 1 out. Infield still in for San Diego. 2-1. Here comes Canning, 2-1. Turang into left center. It's going to split the gap. It goes to the wall. Hamilton scores easily. Bryce Turang with an RBI double. 4-0 Brewers in the second inning.
And Bryce with a 10th double of the season. And this is a thing of beauty right here. This is a changeup that he waits back on. And look at that swing. He drives it into the gap, into left center, and puts the Brewers up 4-0.
Turang, RBI number 27. David Hamilton and Pat Murphy cutting it up in there. Remember that error that sent Hamilton to third. Contreras takes a strike. 2 hits in the inning. Hamilton with a single. Turang with a double. The Brewers with 3 hits and already 4 across the pay station. And again, Marinaccio is loosening in the San Diego bullpen. He was warming up last inning. Gotta feel like Canning probably a batter away from coming out of this game. Gets away from Fermin. He closes on it. Turang stays put. You certainly don't give up on a game at this stage of a game, but if you're Craig Stammen, kind of the underlying story right now is you're going to need Griffin Canning.
Right.
And imperative to try to get his pitch count as high as you can so he can keep building. And as you get him back in the rotation, he threw 73 pitches his first start. That was May 3rd. 83 pitches last time out. Contreras pops it up. Got out in front of a changeup. And Bogarts puts it away for out number 2. Turang stays put at second base. Here comes Sanchez now with 2 away. Walked and scored last inning. Part of the run of 4 consecutive walks last inning. Turang will score. Sanchez on his way to second with an RBI double. Ambush mode that time from Elgary. And it is 5-0 Brewers.
Now what an approach right here from Gary. Look, they are taking those pitches off the edges, but they are jumping all over pitches that are in the middle of the zone. This is a hanging slider. Short compact swing from the big guy, Elgary. And trades places right there with Bryce Turang.
Brewers best in the league with 2 out RBIs, and they deliver here with Gary Sanchez. Now it's Andrew Vaughn. Drew a bases loaded walk last time up.
You definitely want to continue to add on. 5-0 lead, but the San Diego Padres have 13 comeback victories this season, by far the most in MLB. So Gary with his 3rd double.
2 outs. Vaughn takes one in the dirt. Yeah, you'll take as many as you can get right now. Keep stacking them up. Padres are in that tweener mode right now. Do you try to get innings out of Canning? Do you set yourself up for tomorrow? Knowing their offense has the great comeback ability.
Well, like you said, BA, I mean, do they want to push Griffin Canning 63 pitches through just an inning and 2/3 so far? They've had so many injuries to their starting staff. They do have Lucas Giolito waiting in AAA. They said he's going to be coming back as early as next week.
Nick Pavetta's out with elbow problems. Joe Musgrove had Tommy John surgery. Still on the 60-day IL. That's a little flare. That's going to fall. And that's going to give Sanchez a chance to score. Andrew Vaughn with an RBI single. 6-0 Milwaukee. And the beat goes on. Vaughn with his 2nd RBI of the game already.
If you talk to some hitters, and what feels better, a swing like this with 2 outs to drive in a run, or a grand slam, or a big home run? I mean, sometimes they'd argue that these feel as good, just because you're fighting something off, you're staying inside it, and you're coming up with a big RBI 2-out hit.
The Brewers are going to chase the Padres starter in the 2nd inning. Rough start for Griffin Canning. Ron Marinaccio, WesternMutual.com. All big field trip day today, and they are getting their money's worth. They're putting those math skills to the test. 6 runs on the board for the Brewers already. We're only in the 2nd inning. Ron Marinaccio takes over out of the San Diego bullpen.
Yeah, pitched on Sunday against the St. Louis Cardinals. 32 pitches and 2 innings of work. 3 punch outs in that one. He's got a rising fastball, really good four-seam fastball, and that good changeup to go with it.
Starts Rengifo with that changeup. Well, right now Rengifo has the moment of the game that kind of set up the Brewers for the current score. He delivered with a 2-strike, 2 RBI single in the 1st inning. You don't know where the game goes if he makes it out there. And it has gone in the Brewers' favor because he delivered with a base hit and drove in 2. Felt like that kind of broke the seal a little bit. The Brewers have tacked on with 3 more in this inning. Back-to-back 3-run innings. 0-2 to Rengifo.
Yeah, you're right, BA, because it really put Griffin Canning, once that score was 3-0 after that base hit, it was 4 walks in a row, 1-0, and then if Rengifo doesn't get that hit, maybe Canning settles into this outing.
Instead, he's out after an inning and 2/3. Rengifo back up the middle, knocked down by Marinaccio, recovers, throws, and in time for the out. And the inning is over, but the Brewers put another crooked number on the board. A 3-run first and a 3-run second. 6-0 Brew Crew. We're just getting started today on a Thursday. Vinny, for every Brewers RBI, Northwestern Mutual funding 5 hours of childhood cancer research. That's the equivalent of $250. Northwestern Mutual and the Brewers, proud to partner in curing childhood cancer. 6 runs on the board. That's 30 hours. Courtesy of Northwestern Mutual Foundation. Good start for the Brewers today. 6-0. We go to the 3rd. Kyle Harrison has been given a lot of early run support. Let's see if he can keep the gas down here. Back to the top of the order, Bogaerts, Tatis, and Machado. Padres do have 3 hits first time through the batting order against Harrison. He struck out 3 in the first time through. Didn't walk a batter. What a day for baseball today. First day of the year, the roof's been open for a ball game in Milwaukee. Harrison got Bogaerts to pop up to second his first time up. And that one in the air to left field, hit well. Churio right there. One away in the third for Harrison.
He's just got so much room for error with that fastball. Does not have to be perfect with location. He's got that extra little giddy up, that finish to the pitch.
Here's Fernando Tatis, strikeout victim in the first inning. Harrison hit 98 miles an hour in the first inning. He's kind of back to his normal range now. That one at 95. Does seem like a starting pitcher philosophy here. We saw it with Miz. We saw it with Brandon Sproat. These starting pitchers are coming out almost with the closer's mindset in the first inning. And then they're kind of settling into more of a long distance runner's approach. And then you usually see another tick up when it is near the end, 6th or 7th inning. I don't know if that has been explicitly told to the starters to do, but that's been their pattern here recently.
I love that. I love that. Come right out firing. Yeah, that first inning a lot of times gives starters issues, right? You can't really find your stuff, but go ahead, let's let it eat. Let's get that, establish that great fastball early on, and then go from there.
2-2 to Fernando Tatis. When you think about it, Harrison comes out that gut punching loss last night. Right away the Padres get 2 men on in Machado and Andujar. And Harrison gets a ground out to end the inning. Puts up a 0 in that first inning. It's a fickle game sometimes. It can change with one at bat or one pitch. And oftentimes it can happen very early in games.
Well, to be how impressive is it from this group just to kind of turn the page? We talked about how important it is to almost really not care about results, whatsoever. The Brewers with that gut punch loss last night in the 9th inning, down to their last out were the Padres, and Brewers end up losing it. They come out 6-0 here early on.
And Tatis chases one, a strikeout. Put some hair on that fastball, did Harry.
This one's up in the zone to the outer part of the plate. Fernando Tatis Jr. is having all kinds of issues this year in hitting the fastball. That's right on the edge, right at the top of the zone. Good location.
2 up, 2 down. Machado steps in here, getting his usual greeting. Machado had a 2-out single to right, hit the ball sharply in the first inning, came with 2 strikes. Padres put runners at second and third in that first inning with 2 outs before the ground out by Sheets.
That was a great play too by Rengifo. I mean, that would have played in 2 runs if he doesn't come up with that one over at third base in the first inning for Harrison.
He's a known commodity, so I don't want to say Rengifo's been sneaky good, but he's given him a lot at third base. He struggled at the plate, went through that 0 for 20 stretch, but he's hitting now. And he has given the Brewers a nice jolt over at third base. Basically the everyday third baseman at this point. Machado skies this one. Shallow center field. Hamilton is back. The shortstop in the grass. And that is a 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Harrison.
Lockridge, he had that terrible collision against the wall Friday night against the Yankees, went on the injured list, with a right knee laceration and contusion, but Lockridge is doing a lot better now. He had an MRI on Monday, and fortunately no fractures. Everything is structurally intact there with the knee, and that laceration was very deep, nearly down to the bone is what we were told. So it's going to take some time for it to heal, but he is now out of the leg brace. He is moving without crutches. He's walking around a lot better, continues to get treatment. Already working on his mobility, guys, and he's in great spirits considering how scary that collision was for him Friday night. Had to be carted off the field. He'll stay back from the road trip, hoping to get his stitches out this week.
Good stuff there, Sophia. Thank you. As Mitchell goes off the wall down the left field line. Nice little opposite field smash by Garrett Mitchell. And he is aboard with a leadoff double. Nice swing here by Mitchell. He's been a slumping hitter. But he dialed this one up off Marinaccio, Ben.
So it's from A to B. Super direct swing, short and compact, yet he can still generate tremendous bat speed. And you see that on display right here with his shot off the base of the wall to the opposite field. He's some kind of strong.
Hopefully a hot streak is coming for Garrett Mitchell. Here's Frelick now. First ball swinging, dumps one into left field, base hit. And Mitchell's going to be held around third. Sal Frelick wasting no time. Back-to-back hits to start the third inning.
Yeah, these are called soggy knocks right here. This one off the hands from Sal Frelick, and it's a little soft line drive, and Ramon Laureano almost misplayed that completely. Love when Sal's getting those hits.
Had a little check on it, didn't it? Here's Hamilton, who singled his last time up. 6-0 Brewers. We'll see if Hamilton is in bunt mode. Just about any other scenario he probably would be, and still might be. He leads the majors in bunt singles. It's a part of his game.
Most of these times with these bunts, he's going to the third base side. This is a good opportunity to go to the first base side if he chooses to.
And he takes, and it's 2-0. Hamilton, nice little opposite field hit. His last time up. Just put the ball in play, punched it to the left side. There's a big hole over there. And he's thinking about it again, trying to go that way.
It's an 8 bunt hits so far early on in the season, right? The Brewers have played just 40 games. He's played around 30 of those games. And in 200 games played with the Boston Red Sox, he had a total of just 4 bunt base hits. So change in philosophy for David Hamilton.
2 balls and a strike on Hamilton. And there goes Frelick. Pitch is outside, throw to second. And Frelick's off. Is he off? He is, and he's out. And Frelick gets right into the face of Ryan Addison.
He's saying he pushed him off.
Well, now Pat Murphy and his bad hit on his way to get into the discussion.
I think that's what Sal Frelick's contending here, is that he was on the base, and then he's saying that Bogaerts kind of guided him off the base. Take a look here. He's safe, called safe, and then Addison saying that, yeah, he's saying that Bogaerts pushed him off. And he's got an argument.
Totally does. Right there, his momentum has stopped, and then Bogaerts just kind of pushes the cleat off the base.
He got right in his face. You don't see that from Sal Frelick very often, being that adamant, that convicted about his argument here. Not going to change the call.
Not reviewable.
Sal Frelick with a good jump. A great throw from Fermin. He's got a cannon, but yeah, Bogaerts definitely pushed that foot off the base.
It's like a modern day Kent Herbeck.
Yeah, right. The World Series against the Braves.
Wasn't that Lonnie Smith?
Yeah. What a memory, BA.
3-1, runner at third. Hamilton takes ball 4, so he goes to first. And first and third once again. Yeah, you see Murphy is saying, well, we saw it. not reviewable. I don't know if Murphy was confirming, trying to win the rest of the day with second base umpire Ryan Addison, or if he was saying you need to go watch that. Either way. And there goes Hamilton. Chourio swings to the first pitch. And if you're wondering why Addison didn't gather the umpires together, the response for the other three would be, that's your call.
Right.
There's no, so it's his call. He makes it. There's no review. And even if he second guessed himself, there would be no way out of that. Good umpires never second guess themselves.
Some subjectivity to that call, right? It's just a judgment call whether or not the momentum brought him off or the tag.
See if Chourio can pick one up here. Brewers have scored in each of the first 2 innings. A pair of 3-run innings. And trying to get greedy here today in the final game of the series. Chourio batting for the 3rd time already. Still only 1 out. And there goes Hamilton, and a foul ball by Chourio.
Hamilton off twice now, and Chourio fouling off both pitches. But I got confirmation from Mike Vassallo that it was Ron Gant that was pulled off the base by Kent Herbig.
It's good. It's a good real-time correction from our ombudsman, Mike Vassallo. One and 2 the count. See if Hamilton's on the move again. Marinaccio thinking that way.
I think Mike had to look that up, or did he know that from
100%
memory?
he looked it up.
Yeah, he did.
And then came in firm with the correction.
But he's going to play it off
Came
as
in real firm.
Yeah, that he had it at the top of mind.
Firm declaration with an exclamation point after 3 Google searches. There goes Hamilton. Chourio takes a ball throw to second. Hamilton is in there. Kept the foot on the bag that time. Stolen base for David Hamilton. Now 2nd and 3rd for the Brewers. Stolen base number 9 already for Hamilton.
3rd time's the charm for David Hamilton, as he took off 3 times. And the Tatis with the pick, but Hamilton in there. Well, Fermin is a great thrower of the baseball. He's thrown out 38% so far this season, but Hamilton beats him.
Infield in once again. Brewers hungry for more in this 3rd inning. Chourio with 3 RBIs on his early campaign. Playing in just his 8th game. Turang due next. Brewers put 6 on the board in the opener Tuesday. Beat San Diego 6-4. And just couldn't deliver those extra runs last night. Chourio strikes out. Had an emergency hack and chased ball 4. So Chourio in a little bit of a funk right now. Normally doesn't swing at pitches like that. And down he goes.
Marinaccio ties him up with that fastball up and in. The hitter's hitting under 200 against the Marinaccio fastball. He's got a good one. It's deceptive.
Here's Turang now. Walk and a double. Drove in a run with a double in the 2nd. Bryce took over the RBI lead for the Brewers with that ribby in the 2nd inning, overtaking William Contreras. Brewers lead the National League in 2-out runs. Only the Yankees with more runs delivered with 2 outs. Gary Sanchez with a 2-out RBI last inning. Brewers are doing a lot of this offensive work without the benefit of the long ball. That's what's even more impressive. They start hitting some home runs now.
Yeah.
You get Chourio and Vaughn and hopefully Yelich back at some point. I feel like the home run balls are going to increase.
All three of those guys capable of hitting 25 home runs or more.
Totally changes the dynamic of the offense.
Yeah.
3-1, and Turang takes a ball. Backdoor breaking ball. Full count. Contreras would love a swing in this third inning. We'll see if Turang can get him there. Base hit should score 2. Great speed on the bags. And Turang draws the walk. They are loaded again. What a busy score sheet. Fermin's going to challenge this call. He is not going to win this call. That is a Hail Mary of challenges here. Not even close.
Call is confirmed. The batter ball. San Diego loses one down. They have one remaining.
I guess they're just hoping for the system to have crashed in New York.
A glitch
to call that one.
Hey, Lance Marksdale will take it. That's a notch in his belt.
I told you it was a ball.
Ben Fritz back out to the mound, the acting pitching coach, which will give us a chance to hear this word from Potawatomi Sportsbook.
When Potawatomi Sportsbook invited me, John Kuhn, to be their spokesperson, I had to join the team. Yes! Yeah! Potawatomi Sportsbook, your sport, our stadium.
Contreras in a big spot to drive in some runs. Base runners everywhere in this game already. 4 walks and a hit in the first inning. 4 hits in the second inning for the Brewers. 2 hits and 2 walks here in the third. You put 4 base runners on in every inning.
Right.
Things are going to go your way.
Yeah, well, like you said before, BA, this is where the Brewers definitely have to get greedy. And William Contreras, one of the best hitters with runners in scoring position in baseball. He's hitting .356 in that category.
His numbers spike as a DH compared to as the catcher. He's up there hacking at the first pitch. This is his 6th game as a DH, so small sample size, but in the 5 games prior, Contreras as the DH hitting .333, OPS right at 900. .282 as a catcher, .746 OPS. And it's 0-2.
He's been working real hard with Guillermo Martinez this season and just really driving the ball to the opposite field. You know, that's part of his game. Check out his average with 2 outs in runners in scoring position, hitting .368 on the year. That's where you want your guys to shine. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. Those are backbreakers for the opposing team.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. 0-2 the count on Contreras. Contreras does have power, hits homers. These are the spots, though, where he becomes dangerous. He's willing to shorten up his swing, take the humble approach. He's got a great opposite field stroke when he's down in a count. And he hoists this one in the air, pop up. Got fooled on the little cutter. Machado makes a catch, and the inning is over. But the Brewers keep the pressure on San Diego. Another high pitch count inning. Kyle Harrison.
Grab your seats now at brewers.com/giveaways.
There's a good hat. Low clearance. I'm a low clearance hat guy.
Really? You don't like that big crown?
Nah, no crowns.
Okay.
Not for me. Good for rock. Miguel Andujar.
Yeah, do you even let him have it when he's not working with you?
Making an observation. Speaking facts. I mean, you seem like a low clearance guy, but you got such nice hair, boy band hair, that you probably don't wear a lot of hats.
I don't. No, I don't. You're right. I got this working, so the coif. Lock me up with that boy band reference again, BA.
One of these days.
Looking forward to boy band night, but you're going to be gone, I think.
I'm going to have to start wearing a hat full time up here in the booth.
Some famous broadcasters have done that.
Hawk Harrelson.
Yeah.
Uke used to wear a hat a lot. He had a hat on quite a bit. Sell the endorsement. You can sponsor the drone and the hat.
The broadcaster hat. Yep.
And
low
dirt
clearance.
cans. We should get the drone in the booth.
Just have it
bring it on
hover right here. Yeah.
Turn back and forth. One of these days we're gonna have mask cam on them. You're gonna wear the mask the whole game while you're calling the game.
I'm in for that.
Yeah. Give the broadcaster perspective of ump cam that goes on the mask. Great to see the roof open. Starts to feel like summer is coming.
We need it.
Hanging on to some cold weather here in Wisconsin. Need it. 2-2 to Andujar. Chased one, fouls it away.
Go right from winter to summer here sometimes. That's what it feels like it's going to happen this year.
The beauty of the roof, though, it's always perfect inside American Family Field. Get the best of both worlds. There's a good breaking ball. Andujar just fillets one to left field. Churio for out number one. I tell you, Harrison's got really good stuff, and it's a variety too. There's a lot of tools in the shed here for Kyle Harrison, which when you go on a given day, if one pitch is not working, he's got options. He's a guy that can get through a start, it would appear. I mean, he's early in his Brewers stage, but he doesn't have to be on his A game to be a successful starting pitcher, and that's a sign of a guy that has a chance to be a great starting pitcher in this league.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, the start that he is off to right now with the Brewers is quite remarkable. Remember, he did not have a lot of opportunity when he was with San Francisco. Last year, he started in the rotation, got 6 starts, was moved to the pen, then optioned to AAA, then traded, and was in AAA for 3 months with the Boston Red Sox. And brought up at the end of the year, and now all of a sudden, he's getting that chance here with the Brewers, and he's taking his opportunity and running with it, to say the least.
Only 24 years of age. He will turn 25 this year in August. Sheets lines one to center, a base hit. Clean single to center field for Gavin Sheets, his first hit. Well, Kyle Harrison picked up a strikeout in the third. That means you scored a free scoop of fresh frozen custard. Visit culvers.com/Brewers. You can sign up for delicious rewards and redeem your free scoop of fresh frozen custard with any order through tomorrow at participating Wisconsin Culver's locations. Base runner with 1 out for Ramon Laureano.
The other thing you're seeing with Kyle Harrison is the presence, right? He pitches with some swagger out there on the mound. You'd love to see that, especially from such a young guy.
Confidence was certainly rattled. Put yourself in his shoes. He is from Northern California, went to famed De La Salle High School. He gets drafted by the Giants, the hometown team, in the 3rd round. That was during the pandemic. And then he's one of their best prospects. There's a lot of hype about him. Makes it to the big leagues in 2023 as a Giant. There's a liner into right field, a base hit. Frelick's got to go cut it off. He does. Sheets on his way to 3rd. And back-to-back hits. Makes it 1st and 3rd with 1 away. And then the business of baseball kind of got to Kyle Harrison. Did you see the Laureano swing?
Good looking swing from Laureano. Just goes with the pitch right here. Gavin Sheets, 6-0. Doesn't deter him from going 1st to 3rd on a base hit. Kyle Harrison looking for a ground ball double play, something he doesn't get too often with his pitch repertoire.
Arm around the shoulder from Gary Sanchez, the veteran catcher. Some comforting words for his pitcher. Yeah, but Kyle had his whole baseball world disrupted. The trade, Boston kind of had it in their mind he was going to be able to help him in the big leagues as a reliever. That's not the wrong kind of thinking. That's just what the Red Sox needed. And he made a couple of starts for Boston in the big leagues. said it felt like a safety valve when he got traded to the Brewers. He knew the Brewers were going to give him a chance to be a starter. From the outside, he had heard, obviously, and seen the results of the Brewers pitching philosophy and all that they do, both psychologically and physically. And he was very excited to be a part of the program, figure it all out. He was kind of waiting on all the instructions to come, and right away the Brewers said, no, you tell us, you lead this ship. What do you feel like you do best? And we'll tack on to that. We'll present the data to you, you know, kind of where it stands right now. But we're not assuming you're going to be the same pitcher you were with the Red Sox or the Giants. And that's a credit to that guy right there, Chris Hook.
And what an approach to take. Instant trust factor, right? And you able to give the guy what he needs after that once you get the trust.
Swing at him is Castellanos. 2-2 now. It's also an accountability factor where it's really up to the player. You're going to determine the path of your career. The want to's got to be there first. And then the coaching staff and the tools that they have, those are just the pieces that they can use to help you. There he goes, stuck with a fastball. A little pep talk by Gary Sanchez. And he comes back throwing the gas. Castellanos strikes out number 2 here in the 4th.
Yeah, just a unique fastball, right? Unique release characteristics on the fastball. It's got that rising action. It's 96, so it's not like it's a 88-mile-per-hour fastball from a lefty. That's power stuff right there from Harrison to get it by Castellanos.
I don't know if you saw that little subtle fist pump by Gary Sanchez behind the plate. Those are the other parts of this story. You know when a catcher's in it with you. He makes a visit to the mound. Harrison gets the strikeout, and your catcher pumps his fist like, all right, we're back on the train now. Love that.
That goes farther than you think, BA. It really does. It gets you on the same wavelength as the pitcher. And you want to talk about trust. You don't want that guy thinking too much out there. You want to be able to put the sign down or the signal on the pitch calm down, and you want the guy to trust you.
Laureano ground ball to Hamilton, and a good throw in time, and that's the inning. So Harrison, after the mound visit by Gary Sanchez, buckles down, retires the next 2 hitters.
LE22concert.com. Just 1 week away, guys.
Yeah, good job, Christian Yelich. Thanks, Sophia. Christian Yelich out of the lineup, another scratch today, back-to-back games. Pat Murphy did say before the game he's going to have more on that after the game. Yelich started as the designated hitter on Tuesday after a weekend's worth of baseball activities last weekend when the Yankees were in town. Vinny, you can explain more, but that obviously included batting practice, but base running and the recovery after each of those days. He looked great, felt great, played Tuesday night, and then has been out of the lineup the last 2 games. Brewers have been pretty quiet about all of that, and we really haven't seen Yelich much in the clubhouse. So after the game, should shed a little bit of light on what's going on with Yelich.
It's mildly concerning, I got to be honest. I mean, he didn't have a rehab stint. He didn't go out and play in AAA or anything like that. So the fact that it is the back that he had surgery on a couple of seasons ago is mildly concerning. Hopefully all is good with Christian Yelich, because we talked about how important he is to this, not only to the lineup, to the roster, but just the presence, the leadership that he brings to the clubhouse.
He is on the active roster, so while the Brewers do have a 4-man bench, it's essentially a 3-man bench. Hopefully it doesn't come into play today with a nice lead early. And if you could get through this game without really needing that bench, that would be a bonus. So Sanchez flies to right, and there is the first out of the 4th inning.
I mean, it's proven that the Brewers, and they are proving it and have proved it this season so far, that they can score runs without certain names in the lineup. Yeah, but Christian Yelich, how long does that last, right? 29 home runs last year, 103 RBIs. He's swinging the bat well early on this season before that groin injury. Now they need him back.
Andrew Vaughn now takes a strike. Yelich has played in 16 games this year, 13 of those as the designated hitter.
The other thing too with a soft tissue injury to the lower half is you wonder if Christian Yelich's legs are going to be, you know, not that he's going to be favoring anything whatsoever, but you know, is he going to be slowed down just a little bit? We'll see. I mean, running the base is part of his game.
Vaughn drives one into right center field, and it is down, a base hit. Extra bases for Andrew Vaughn. It is his second hit. Had a walk and an RBI with the bases loaded in the first. Drove one in with a single in the second. Now he's got an extra base hit here.
Yeah, this kid has got the hitting gene, doesn't he? He could do this right here on Christmas morning. Not the fleetest of foot or greatest range out there in right field. Nick Castellanos, one of the worst defensive outfielders in all of baseball, can't come up with that one, but Andrew Vaughn will take it for his second double of the year.
Brewers keep the pressure on. They have had runners on in every inning, runners in scoring position in every inning. They scored 3 runs in the first, 3 in the second. Rengifo was a big part of that in the first inning. 2 RBI single. That was a 2-strike hit in the first inning. Two and nothing on Rengifo. And 3 balls, no strikes. Marinaccio entered this game in the second, got the last out of the second inning after the Brewers had scored 3 runs. Starter Griffin Canning lasted just an inning and 2/3. And all 6 runs belong to him. There's a strike.
With Rengifo, the only organization he's ever played for is the Anaheim Angels. And so this is the first time that he's been with another organization. And look, Anaheim Angels have done a lot of losing over the last 10 years or so. And so Rengifo is kind of figuring out, hey, this is what winning baseball looks like.
Hits that one on the barrel. That is going to be a base hit. And they're going to wave Vaughn. Here comes the throw. No throw. It's cut off. A sneaky send by Matt Erickson, and Vaughn scores the run. Rengifo with his 3rd RBI. 7-0 Milwaukee.
Yeah, have a day, Luis Rengifo. A couple of base hits with runners in scoring position. Now he's got 3 ribbies. And look, this Marinaccio 4-seam fastball, no one gets hits on it. It is tough to get on top of. Luis Rengifo does so, barrels went up, and Andrew Vaughn, you're right, that was a sneaky send and kind of caught the center fielder off guard a little bit in Bryce Johnson.
I think Bogarts, when he cut it off, had no idea that Vaughn was going to try to score. He's not fleet of foot, but with 2 outs, or with 1 out I should say, and a big lead, Vaughn got the windup.
Good read by Andrew Vaughn off second base. That's a line drive that you don't necessarily know that the center fielder's not going to catch.
Garrett Mitchell reached on a fielder's choice in the first, and then he roped a double down the left field line his last time up. Rollover ground ball, fired to second, out there, return feed not in time. 2 outs in the inning. Sheets gets the lead out. Rengifo 3-6 on the put out, and that'll bring up Sal Freeling. Activity in the bullpen. Yuki Matsui pitched on Tuesday night. Getting ready here in the 4th inning. Brewers are plowing through the Padres relievers right now. Managers won't often admit in the middle of a regular season a punt game, but this is turning into one. And Mitchell takes off, steals second. Now he's on his way to third. Fermin with a bad throw. Never had a grip on it. It didn't appear. And it'll be an error on the catcher. Mitchell with a stolen base and to third on the E2.
It goes on first move from Marinaccio, who's clearly having trouble holding runners in there easily, and Fermin just airmails it.
Stolen base number 6 for Mitchell. And he's at third for Sal Frelick. Had a hit his last time up.
Yeah, you're right on the punt game, though, BA. Yuki Matsui's kind of the long guy. Not a leverage arm necessarily for the San Diego Padres. Just came back from the IL. And if this goes any further, you might see a position player at the end of the game for the Padres.
That's always a tough decision. And it's even tougher with Craig Stammen. First of all, he's a first-year manager, but his offense has proven they have great comeback ability. So you don't want to take your team out of a game, but in this game, you're playing for today, and you're also at times playing for tomorrow. Padres get on a plane, go to Seattle. They start up a series tomorrow, so no off day. It's one of the drastic differences between the postseason and the regular season, the way the game is managed, specifically the bullpen. You say all that because the Brewers have been on the other side of that plenty, and as an offense, you know, to keep the pressure on, because a couple of more runs, you keep tacking on runs, you can almost eliminate any drama from the rest of this game.
Right. It saves your bullpen, but it also gets into the leverage arms of the other team's bullpen. Yeah, that's important in the first game of the series, any game of the series, but really important in the first game. Looks like Sal broke his bat on that. Look at that shot.
She's a beaut. Drone's been busy today. I mean, it's an ideal day for the drone to be out and about.
Downtown Milwaukee, way in the background.
You see Vinny's truck down there. He took my parking spot today.
I've been doing that all series.
Nice. 3-2. Frelick fouls it away. Send a drone down there and see if your windows are up. Check on everybody's car. Vinny with the bold move, parking in Bill Schroeder's spot.
Well, that's what Jim and Garrett told me to do.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It's risky. Are you sure they have your best interest in telling you to do that?
You know, those guys are the best, so I believe that they do, but you just never know.
3-2, and Frelick fouls it away. You know, Rock has access to the security footage.
There it is.
There it is, right in the front. Look at Vinny, right in the premium spot.
Why are you parked so close to me? Why did you park?
I did. I actually nestled right up to you.
I think levering left or behind you.
A swing and a miss, and that is the inning. Brewers tack on one, though. Get an RBI from Luis Rengifo. He's got 3 ribbies in this game. Kyle Harrison working on a shutout. Goes back out.
/ theme nights.
All right, here we go. Bryce Johnson starts the 5th inning. So while the Brewers lead 7-0, their offense has been terrific. Padres pitching has not been. Kyle Harrison becomes a big story right now. 4 scoreless innings. He's had some traffic behind him. Stranded 2 in the first, stranded 2 more in the 4th inning. Padres have left 5 on through the first 4 innings. But Harrison with 5 Ks. One of those strikeouts was the man at the plate, Bryce Johnson, back in the 2nd inning. And Harrison just continues to get outs.
Brewers are poised, if they can finish this game off, they're poised to go 6-2 when Kyle Harrison starts.
He's just been the model of consistency. He has not had a start where he's allowed more than 2 earned runs. Now he's had some starts which didn't last long. Had a 4 1/3 outing. Went just 4 innings against the Yankees last time out. But I would say some of that is pitch count related. Some of that is also he's new to the scene, and it's piggyback related, meaning there's another pitcher that can go multiple innings that has been in line to pitch on those same days. Harrison goes right at Johnson. Got him with a fastball at 96 miles an hour. Picks up his 6th strikeout inning.
It's so tough right here. If he's going cross corner like this and commanding it into a righty, and again, it's got that extra forward life finish to that pitch. Just jumps on hitters. You know, Kyle Harrison just pounding the zone against this Padres lineup.
Bogaerts takes a strike, back to the top of the San Diego order. Bogaerts 0 for 2.
And the other thing too, BA, is he works quickly. There's quick tempo in between pitches. He's not sitting there waiting around. Pounding the zone keeps your defenders on their toes. I mean, we saw that last year with Quinn Priester. The Brewers, remember, they won 18 in a row. Gave him a chance to win every single time out. That's kind of the feel you get from Kyle Harrison, the way, the aggressive nature as to how he attacks hitters.
One and 2 to Bogaerts. And Harrison again with the fastball. It's not that smooth left-hander. It's twitchy, which I would imagine makes that a little more difficult as a hitter. You got a lot going on there. Lazy swing by Bogaerts and a ground ball to Turang for out number 2. Turang threw a hot one over to Vaughn. Says, my bad, Andrew. Sorry to make that hard on you.
Yeah, sorry, it's not to the chest every single time.
He spotted a down and away fastball right there to Vaughn. No problem.
That was a good throw in my career for me. I recorded it out.
If it didn't bounce, that's on you. 2 outs for Tatis. Lake is shining on a Thursday afternoon. Little getaway day game for the Brewers and Padres, both traveling after the game. Brewers got an easy trip over to Minneapolis. Nice little 40-minute flight. Be there before you know it. Padres got to go to Seattle.
How about that travel?
Feels like forever.
Yeah, from San Diego, they just got done playing the Cardinals. They come in here for a little 3-game trip and then right back to Seattle. The miles that some of the West Coast teams have to travel is just insane.
Especially the Mariners. Good lessons going on. Math day here at the ballpark, cleaning up their own mess. Counting the garbage.
Being good stewards of the ballpark.
Yeah, one kid, he had a nice little jump shot with the water bottles. He made like 4 in a row.
He was a knipple.
You know, he looked like a knipple.
It's like 5 of them. You
like
know,
a
they're all going
flying
to play in the
knipple.
NBA. Yeah.
Look at him. What's next? He's looking for one.
That kid's like, I don't want your trash.
DL Hall loosening up. Ooh. Check it. They're going to challenge this. Harrison's walking off. Harrison is fully confident in this challenge by his catcher. And this will be a strike. And the inning is over. Well timed. Strikeout number 7 for Kyle Harrison. Clean up, everybody, everywhere. Looks like she got the whole family up there in the suite. I don't know where Dolly is, but happy birthday. David Hamilton leads off. First ball swinging right up the pipe. And 1 pitch and 1 out. Padres make a pitching change here with Yuki Matsui. Don't see many pitchers wearing number 1 on their back, but Matsui's made the bold choice.
It's third appearance of the year, coming off injury early May. He's got a good fastball and a good split finger pitch. We saw him in game 1 of the series.
Marinaccio goes 2 1/3, gives up 4 hits, 1 run. Starter Griffin Canning an inning and a third, and now Matsui is on. Chourio batting for the 4th time. 0 for 3 with a couple of Ks. See if Chourio can find something today, get him hot for the road trip.
He's always just one at bat away from getting hot, isn't he? Take a look at Kyle Harrison's line. 99 pitches in this one. No walks after issuing 4 walks against the New York Yankees.
He's been great. Harrison's got a shutout going through the first 5 innings with 7 strikeouts. He's had a strikeout in every inning thus far. His best strikeout game, 12. He had 12 Ks against the Pirates in a win in his last start in April. Most strikeouts he's had since that time. 1-2 the count, and Chourio tracks it in, takes a ball. The splitter by Matsui. That's his pitch. Chourio's got a level of intensity going on this at bat. It kind of tells you something. He's digging in. You can see he's in a stance a little bit, and you always feel like when he's smiling before the pitch comes, there's some damage there.
Yeah.
Like he knows.
He's ready to do something. Only guy in the lineup that hasn't reached base yet.
Been a lot of 2-strike counts. Not sure Lance Barksdale called timeout. I don't know who called timeout. Having a conversation here, maybe about being attentive to the pitcher. Batter's got to be attentive to the pitcher by the 8-second mark. 2-2. Chourio's got a little Juan Soto going.
Yeah.
I mean, he's fully engaged in this at bat in a 7-0 game.
That little shimmy going. Never give away an at bat.
No way. I mean, the guy just loves the game on a level that most big leaguers don't. Basketball, they call him gym rats. He's a baseball rat. 3-2. And he got him. So Chourio, he was bearing down, but he chased one. Got a little anxious. Strikes out. 0 for 4 day for Jackson. 2 outs for Matsui. Let's send it down to Sophia Minard. What do you have, Soph?
Well, we were talking to Jason Lane about the Brewers offense here in the first 4 games, and they already have 6 walks here today against the Padres. They are one of the best teams in all of baseball. They average 4.4 walks per game. That's second most in the National League. And Lane said, you know, this is an offense that's still trying to find their identity, but he said one of our strengths is absolutely swing decisions. And he said, you know, it's hard to string multiple hits together in innings against top quality pitching. So the walks are a big part of how they're able to create offense, and just along with that mentality of making a pitcher work, right? That drag-em mentality, putting pressure on, and then with their speed as one of the fastest teams in baseball, just able to create more pressure getting on base. So he said the walks are a huge part of how they've been able to consistently just create offense here.
Yeah, that woodpecker mentality, that drag-em mentality, they really do a number on opposing pitchers, especially starting pitchers. Right now, the Brewers 4th in the majors in total walks. High walk percentage. Terang's walked twice in this game to go along with an RBI double.
It's 11.4% walk percentage. It's actually 3rd in all of baseball. Yankees, Cubs, then Brewers. So we talked about how they, I mean, it's up and down the lineup. They just know the strike zone. They see the ball early, and they're making great swing decisions.
1-2 to Bryce Terang with 2 outs. Play in the 5th inning. 7-0 Brewers. Turang takes a ball.
There's one of the league leaders in on-base percentage right here at the plate, Bryce Turang.
On-base percentage of .424 for Turang. OPS at .938. From your second baseman, but Matsui rings him up. 3 up, 3 down with a couple of Ks. Brewers go in order for the first time today. And it looks like 7 runs through the first 5 innings by his offense, but Vinny goes 5 strong, 7 strikeouts, 5 scoreless innings against the San Diego Padres.
Yeah, what a great start from Kyle Harrison. 99 pitches, was filling up the zone, was getting ahead. First pitch strikes were there, 6 strikeouts on the fastball, 1 on the slurve. We've seen that a lot from Kyle Harrison. That was a solid start from him.
Charlie came in with a record of 3-1 and a 2.41 ERA. ERA is going to drop. Gruber Law Office's 1 call, that's all. Call to the pen. DL Hall enters, and Manny Machado leads off. And Duhar to follow, and then Gavin Sheets. Machado's going to challenge this.
Strike call.
Watch how close this one is.
Ooh, just clipped the top corner, huh? Oh yeah, ring it red.
The frustration on Manny Machado's face, like, you got to be kidding me.
Wow.
And we talked off camera. That has been a ball for the history of the game. And now it's a strike with the new defined strike zone.
Hey, go up there again. The upshoot.
If you can hit that spot 3 times in a row.
Baseball did a lot of testing with the ABS system, and there was even some consideration in the testing process in the minor leagues to change the actual strike zone, the box from a rectangle to an oval, to get rid of the corners, which weren't typically called a strike.
Right.
It's kind of fascinating because the way they came to that decision, at least to try it, because they marked every strike call for years in the major leagues, and it developed into a cluster. And as they looked at all the data, it basically was the shape of an oval.
Right.
And so they contemplated that, ended up going with the rectangular box, which is kind of how it's drawn in the, you know, the original rule book. It's been a big hit, I think.
Yeah.
Out front, Machado pops it up behind the plate. It's got some spin on it. Coming back to Sanchez. He's got it. Those always spin back toward the field of play, and Sanchez stayed with it. Machado is retired.
A nice play by El Gary. Look, he's been solid behind the plate so far this year. Remember, Jefferson Caro came up for a brief stint just to get Gary's bat in the lineup more at first base with some of the injuries, but he's been doing a nice job, and not only, you know, defensively in receiving, throwing, blocking, but he's been handling the staff well. He knows when to go out for mound visits.
I thought he had a key mound visit last inning with Harrison in the 4th inning. Harrison had 2 on, 1 out. Went out for a calming visit. Harrison retired the next 2 hitters and started throwing the fastball almost exclusively after that.
Right.
You got to figure that was the topic of discussion.
They say you got to spend a lot of time in the saddle behind home plate in order to learn how to handle a staff, call the right pitches.
Big bouncer out to Hamilton. And Duhar is retired. 2 outs here for DL Hall in the 6th inning. That'll give us a chance to hear a message from Gruber Law Offices.
Get a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. 1 call, that's all.
2 gone in the Padres 6th. And it's Gavin Sheets. Sheets hit the ball sharply last time up, had a single in the 4th. Padres with 5 hits in the game.
The catcher is challenging the ball call.
Now Sanchez will give it.
I'm not saying it did.
Uh-oh, Mike's open, Lance. That's scary.
Yeah, I do.
It's like a naked gun moment.
The ball, Milwaukee's out of challenge.
I'm surprised.
I just kept talking over him. I don't even want to know what was going to be said next.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet this season.
Oh. It is a naked gun moment.
I'm just thinking back to that scene in the movie.
He's in the bathroom. He's got the mic on. Oh, it's classic. That one's upstairs. Sheets draws a walk on 4 pitches. Well, don't think that hadn't been discussed either. Make sure you click that microphone off.
That's probably the reason why they didn't give him the ability to do that for so long, and we were clamoring for it, weren't we?
Yeah, we may be on a 7-second delay elsewhere, but inside the stadium, everybody heard that. But no problem. Dropped a nice curveball in there on Laureano. DL Hall's been so good for the Brewers this year. Giving him a key role in that bullpen. Now, hang on. Uh-oh. Gary Sanchez has recognized something with DL Hall here. Training staff coming out, pitching coach coming out, manager. Oof.
That's the guy that's dealt with so many injuries in his career. He's had back problems, dealt with a lat issue. Trying to figure out.
He's trying to read lips there. Right at the start, he said, "I'm all right, but," and then he covered up his mouth with his glove. So I'm not sure where the conversation led after that.
Let's take a look at this a couple of pitches ago, and
yeah, that little move right there.
A little grimace to the face.
And then Gary Sanchez. This was the last pitch that brought Sanchez out from behind the plate. I don't know if you see much there, but oh no, he called him out. I beg your pardon. He needs a second here. Well, at 7-0, there's no sense in risking anything injury-wise. But if it's illness and he just needed a minute,
yeah, he called Gary out, but he told the bench, Murph and Hookie, "No, I'm okay. Stay back." Of course they're going to come out for that.
all right, so he's going to continue. Now, whatever it was, he's been able to get over it here. There are 2 outs. So you just have to guess. This is not injury related, just more illness or something along those lines. Let's see if he can get it back together here. 2 quick outs and a walk.
Yeah, velocity's still good, 95 on that last pitch. So that's an indicator that he's okay.
6 out of 7 pitches out of the strike zone, though. 2 balls and a strike. Laureano with a single his last time up. Didn't mean to do it. Foul ball. Grant Anderson preparing just in case. See if Hall can get through the 6th inning. Oh, big curve in there. Nicely done. So Hall needed a moment, got it, comes back and picks up a strikeout to end the inning and works a scoreless 6th. Shutout still intact. Some descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Brewers. Sausage races were very entertaining today.
It's close.
Brought their A game.
Who won? German?
You know, it's not about the wins and the losses, but the Polish again. Polish is on a nice run. I think he's enjoying the cool weather. Frisky. Mark Grant, Don Orsillo. We sent Lorraine over for some ice cream for Mud. He's a big soft serve guy. And we served it. So Mud complains about the small cups of soft serve. So we sent it over in a giant vat. And look at Lorraine's like, that wasn't me. You're welcome, Mudley. The lovable Padres broadcasters.
Mud is great.
Yeah, Mud's one of our favorite. Illinois boy.
Yeah, Joliet Catholic High School.
Yeah. He's one of the great ones. 31 years in the booth with the Padres. We've had a lot of hijinks with Mark Grant through the years. Look, he's dying to take a bite right now, too. Never met anybody that eats more soft serve than Mark Grant. You thought Mike Vasallo put the soft serve away. It's not even close.
It's Mud.
Sanchez now with Contreras at first. Mark Grant and my brother were teammates in the minor leagues. I've known that guy since the early 90s.
Wow.
Sanchez pops it foul. And Sheets. Oh, he made the play. That came down inside the netting. And there's out number one.
Yeah, Mud agrees. Makes an out. Does Gavin Sheets right against the netting. Stays with it.
If it hits the net, it's a dead ball.
Right.
Sheets reached up there before it did. Takes care of Sanchez. Brings up Andrew Vaughn now. Every year, Mark Grant would come to then Miller Park. Every year, when they would play jump around in the stadium, he would come in this booth and jump around. And finally, one year, Rock just got sick of it, and he came armed with silly string. Like 3 cans of silly string.
He got him.
Renee was in on it, too. Just smoked him.
That's awesome.
Just
now
strung him up.
Mud was the guy that would silly string other people? Okay.
Oh, he would.
Yeah, he would.
Got him
okay,
back.
got it back. Got it.
Yeah.
During the open, he would do that.
He would come in and hit you right before you go on camera.
Right.
It's not easy to clean up before you
right.
go on camera. 1-1 to Andrew Vaughn. 1-2 the count. There's that splitter. Matsui has a good one. Throws him often.
Now, why do they call him Mud? Just his nickname over the years.
Mudcat, Mark Grant, Mudcat Grant.
Look at that head. Now he's talking about getting one of those microphones that comes right over the top on that bald head.
That's exactly what he's talking about. He was talking about that before the game. He hates the headset. So he wears a stick mic, uses a stick mic at home. I told him, why don't you do like the Broadway singers do and just tape a lavalier mic right to your forehead?
Be a great look. Such a fun personality around the ballpark.
Man. One of the all-time legends. Does a great Harry Carey. You're right. Swing and a miss, and Vaughn strikes out. Number 2.
He's talking about starting a podcast too in the hotel lobby.
Yeah, that would violate all kind of laws.
I think that's going to happen, but it's a good idea, Mud.
If you ever want to spend time with Mark Grant, just go to the hotel lobby about an hour after every game on the road. He's there. He literally sits in the lobby and talks to people. 2 outs for Rengifo. Turns around, hits right-handed. 3 RBIs today for Luis after 3 hits yesterday. He's 2 for 3 today. Batting average continues to climb since his 0 for 20. It's been about a month since he endured that offer. That's a pop-up foul territory. Sheets got turned around, actually drifting back into fairgrounds, and Sheets makes the play. And the inning is over. Soft serves empty. Mark Grant gonna tear it up during the one here today. 7-0. A 3-run first, a 3-run second, and Kyle Harrison was excellent. 5 shutout. Want some, Donnie? Donnie, you want some? Here's Grant Anderson now.
He hasn't pitched in a while. It's been 10 days since Grant Anderson has pitched. He's been excellent so far this season. That 3.18 ERA. And he is certainly fresh and ready to go here in this one.
I'll need him to pick up some innings here. DL Hall, just the 1 inning. Looked like he was feeling something, some kind of illness, it would seem. Brewers let him continue on. He picked up a strikeout to end the inning. So Hall a scoreless 6th. Brewers were an out away from a 1-0 shutout win last night. They shut out the Yankees in the first game of this homestand last Friday. See Matt Waldron in the San Diego pen. A couple of good innings by Matsui. So it is an arms race to the end now as both teams try to get prepared for tomorrow somewhat. Still have the task at hand. Little soft liner by Castellanos, and Mitchell closes, can't make the play, and he's down hurt. Castellanos into second base with a double. Well, you just hope that wrist didn't roll over. The glove popped off. Great effort by Mitchell.
Yeah, he got there, and you're right, with all the injuries that Garrett Mitchell has been dealing with over the course of his career. And he gets a good jump, good route, dives, and then that glove gets caught underneath him.
Right there, it rolled over.
Looks like he's okay though.
Leadoff double. And Fermin on the first pitch. Frelick closing on it. No tag over at second. 1 away.
Today's Tavern of the Game winner is House of Heilmann's in West Bend. If the Tavern calls the Milwaukee Brewers by 10 a.m. tomorrow, they will receive 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer is courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Sunny Thursday afternoon in Milwaukee. Here's Bryce Johnson now. Switch hitter turns around, hits left-handed. First at bat is a lefty today. 2 Ks as a right-handed hitter. First ball swinging. And after the double, 2 pitches and 2 outs for Grant Anderson.
And you wonder too if Grant Anderson gets through this inning cleanly. You wonder if you're going to get some work with some other guys too. Brian Fitzpatrick, he hasn't pitched in 11 days. Jake Woodford 9 days. I mean, when's the last time we were able to say that, BA, that the bullpen needs work?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they've been worked quite a bit these last few seasons.
Sung-Moon Song going to pinch hit for Xander Bogaerts. Greg Stammen gets his starting shortstop off his feet here in the 7th inning. That's a good point. It means you're going good.
Right.
When that is the case.
Deep.
First at bat for Song. Still a work in progress for the Padres. That's one of the main reasons they've had Tatis playing second base. Trying to inject a little offense with Tatis and Castellanos at second and right field. Song's been the odd man out in that.
It's surprising actually that we haven't seen more at bats from Song in this series. Obviously the lefty going today and Harrison, but this guy that signed over in the KBO 4-year deal with the Padres here on the cheaper side of things. It's all relative, obviously. 4 years, $15 million deal to come over from Korea.
Get a chance to play in the big leagues. Take that every time. 2-2. And that's a ball. 3-2 the count. You had a year in the KBO,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Yeah, it was a great time. Loved it. Played for the Nexen Heroes. They're now called the Kiwoom Heroes. Teams are named after the sponsors that sponsor the team. Nexen is a tire company. Don't ask me what Kiwoom is.
Tell you, the KBO just continues to elevate. That league gets better and better. They did not allow international players until the late 90s.
Yeah, your brother was one of the first ones.
Yeah, he was the first for the LG Twins. I think it was 98. First time they let foreign players come over to Korea. That's a walk. Anderson issues a 2-out walk. But that league just continues to get better and better. The level rises. Great crowds over there in the KBO. During the pandemic, we had a chance to watch a lot of KBO games.
That's right.
And obviously Japanese baseball is at a very high level. Japanese players coming to the major leagues have had great success, and none more than one of the faces of Major League Baseball. It's a global game.
Yeah, game's never been more popular, right? I mean, baseball is in such a good spot right now. Viewership is up everywhere, all over the world. It's a good product on the field.
Japanese baseball fans certainly proud of the fact that Shohei Ohtani is doing something that no player has ever done in any of the leagues to this level, pitching and hitting. Interesting nowadays for the Dodgers, Ohtani, when he pitches, does not bat in the games. Only DHs on the non-starting pitching days. Quickly 0-2 on Tatis. Struck out 3 times in this game. It has been a rough start for Fernando Tatis. Lazy little ground ball. And Terang, what a play. I mean, he makes it look so easy. That was not an easy chance. Terang gobbled it up, cuts down a fast runner, and another scoreless inning.
It's a really good Padres lineup. Yeah, think about that big home run in the 9th yesterday, how close the Brewers would be to potentially sweeping this homestand, guys. But hopefully finish this thing out strong and hit the road strong as well.
All right, guys, thanks. Looking forward to Brewers postgame as Matt Waldron takes over on the mound for San Diego. Garrett Mitchell, who kind of tweaked his wrist a little bit, but he puts a charge into that one deep into left field. Got some carry, and it is going to be dropped by Laureano. He never looked comfortable, and Garrett Mitchell into second base. There is some wind whipping through this ballpark right now. You're also dealing with the setting sun. And Laureano, once he got to the wall, he never could recover.
Yeah, Laureano used to be a very, very good defensive outfielder. In fact, he used to play center field in a good one too, and he has not played well this season, and he just kind of loses track of this one, overshot it, and drops it.
No official ruling on the decision yet, hit or error. We'll see Matt Waldron. 6th game. This is a get right opportunity for him. It's been a struggle this year for the right-hander.
We saw him as a starter. He's or the bulk option for the Padres in game 1 of the series.
Changes to the left side of the infield as well, with Song and France taking over for Bogarts and Machado. Wouldn't say the white flag is all the way up, but Craig Stammen is taking it up the flagpole right now.
Yeah, they're getting ready and having their bullpen poised and ready for that Mariners series. But yeah, finish this one off and should take care of business the rest of the way and go on the road if you're the Brewers.
By the way, Tim O'Driscoll, official score, has ruled that batted ball by Mitchell a hit, a double.
Agree with that.
So Garrett Mitchell 2 hits today. Stolen base.
He played it into a hit.
He'll take him. 1-2 on Sal Freeland. And it got him. Strikeout for the first out. Knuckleball from Waldron.
That's the knuckleball. We only saw 3 knuckleballs in the outing in game 1 of the series from Waldron. That was a good one right there to Freeland.
Oh, by the way, we found Dolly. Happy 100th birthday, Dolly.
That's awesome.
She looked pretty satisfied with a 7-0 Brewers lead here. Hamilton swinging at the first pitch and off the netting.
Oh, that's awesome. I bet she's never missed a game.
There's a monitor up there they can see. Yeah, we're here.
Oh,
Dolly.
There she is.
Well, which one's Dolly? This one right here.
That's awesome.
I love it. Got her whole family there. What a special day this is. 100. Good on the family for making a big deal about it at the ballpark.
Right.
Love
Look at
that.
the sign. That's great.
Everybody's in the frame. Big crowd up there too. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Everyone is welcome. Can't be fun at the old ballpark. All ages. From babies to 100-year-olds.
You'll be in the booth for your 100th birthday.
I'll be sitting right here.
Yeah. Dom will be right next to you.
Brock will still be asking. None of my other partners lasted more than 5 years. Been trying to get rid of me ever since. Dolly's like, enough. Get the camera off me. Great crowd today on Math Day. A lot of kids in the ballpark. What a field trip that is, by the way. We didn't have field trips like that when I was in school, I guarantee it.
The bread factory, you were
that's
telling
right.
us, right? Yeah.
Bread factory.
Pouring vats of bleach into the bread.
Yeah. Enjoy, kids. Nearly 35,000 in attendance today. Biggest crowd of the series.
The worst is when, after the field trip, however, you had to write a paper on what you experienced at the games. Like, no, I thought we were just doing the game.
Then he just turned in his scorebook with all of his scouting grades.
Right, yep. Scouting reports.
There's a called strike 3. Hamilton's going to challenge.
There's no challenges.
They don't have any. Lance Barksdale shook his head no, and Hamilton is a strikeout victim.
So the rumor is around prep baseball around Wisconsin that high school players are starting to tap their helmets.
Are they really?
On calls that are egregious. Yeah,
that might get you thrown out.
Yep.
Might get you thrown right out if you do that. Speaking of how the young ones imitate the big leaguers.
Yep.
Check out this knuckleball. There's the grip. It's got a little more rotation than he'd probably like, but you'd love to see a knuckleball back in the big leagues. It's been a while since, on a regular basis, since late Tim Wakefield threw one.
Yeah, Tim Wakefield, R.A. Dickey, Stephen Wright, those are the last 3.
Charlie Huff, a famous knuckleball pitcher, of course. Joe Niekro. No, but you know how that young players are imitating big leaguers. So Pat Murphy showed me video of his son hitting a homer. And as he's rounding second base, so he hit a home run over the fence. So he's in his home run trot. He rounds second base. He points to the
bullpen.
But there's no bullpen because it's a little league field. But he does it anyway. He says, well, that's what Andrew Vaughn does. Go ahead. Happy birthday, Dolly. 7-0. See if the Brewers can.
Brewers.com/tickets.
Brian Fitzpatrick will be next for Milwaukee. DL Hall, Grant Anderson, and now Fitzpatrick out of the bullpen today. the big lefty. And facing Ty France, first at bat for France. Joey Ortiz enters the game at short. That moves Hamilton over to second base. Bryce Terang is done for the day. Good day's work for Bryce. 1 for 2, 2 walks, an RBI double, and 2 runs scored for Terang.
You got to go back to May 3rd to find the last time that Brian Fitzpatrick has toed the rubber against the Washington Nationals. This is his 4th big league appearance. He's handled himself really well here in his inaugural major league season.
Made his major league debut April 29th against Arizona. What a special moment for him, his family. We had cameras on him, and a lot of hard work to get to this level. Just kept improving his game. And you know, those who, at least scouts who had seen him in Nashville, kept giving reports like, this guy, he's real. He's a factor in the big leagues. Kind of a self-made pitcher. He's in the back end of the bullpen right now. His opportunities are scarce, but when you're in the big leagues, you always have a chance. He's done a good job with him. Down in AAA Nashville before he was called up, he had not allowed an earned run. 10 games, 10 in the 3rd innings. 11 strikeouts in those 10 in the 3rd innings, and only 2 walks. No earned runs allowed. And a called strike 3 on Ty France. Fitzpatrick with a backwards K to start his day. Take you back to the 1st inning, Vinny, our Aurora Healthcare defensive play of the game.
Yeah, this one gets through. This game is a lot different. I think the momentum's going to be on San Diego's side. They're going to have 2 runs on the board in the top of the 1st inning if Luis Rengifo doesn't come up with this gem of a play to his left, sliding, and throws a strike to first.
Really was a tone setter in that 1st inning. After the Padres had that comeback win last night with a 3-run homer with 2 outs in the 9th, you come right back. 1st inning, they threaten. Harrison got out of the 1st with that great play by Rengifo. Pitched 5 scoreless. Padres still without a run in this game. Harrison Hall and Grant Anderson have kept San Diego down.
'96. Fitzpatrick is looking sharp after 11 days of rest. I mean, what a testament to the kid to come out here and start pumping strikes like the way he's doing right now with all of his pitches.
And Duhar on a double his first time up. His double kind of set that inning up. That was right before the Rengifo play, taking a hit away from Gavin Sheets. 1 out of 3, Miguel Andujar. Been hitting for a high average this year. Had him out in front. Fouls it back. 2-2 the count now.
Yeah, he started that rally too with 2 outs in the 9th against Abner Uribe. That little soft liner into center field, and then the walk to Xander Bogaerts, and then the Gavin Sheets homer.
That was so close to being caught by Terang, which would have ended the game. I mean, just a couple of inches away from his glove. Swing and a miss. Fitzpatrick with a great changeup. Back-to-back strikeouts. 2 gone here in the 8th inning. Good pitching here by Fitzpatrick.
Look at the arm speed right here, and this is to the inner part of the plate, which as a hitter, you see something in, you're thinking it's a fastball, and that's why Andujar is way out in front of that change.
2 outs. Here is Gavin Sheets. 1 for 2 with a walk. Great bounce back today by the Brewers after a devastating loss last night. Almost better that it was a day game. You got the quick turnaround, and then 3 runs in the 1st, 3 in the 2nd, jumping out quickly on San Diego. 6-0 after the first 2 innings. Added an insurance run in the 4th. Andrew Vaughn with 2 RBIs today. Rengifo with 3 runs batted in. Turang an RBI. And great pitching once again.
Such a resilient group, right? And yes, you're right, BA. The starting pitching has been phenomenal this season. 5th in baseball coming into today. The starting pitching ERA. You always have a chance when you get that kind of production from your starters.
Big bouncing ball. Ortiz. And that's the inning. 1, 2, 3. Brian Fitzpatrick. Shutout still intact. To the bottom of the 8th we go at American Family Field. Brewer. 5 singles, 5 doubles. There's been a steady offensive attack. 3-run first, 3-run second. Added 1 in the 4th. They lead 7-0 now, Milwaukee, as we go to the 8th. Brewers at the plate for the final time, let's hope. Joey Ortiz first at bat, hitting for Turang. Entered the game last inning. At this point, through the 6-game homestand, the Brewers scoring 28 runs, averaging a little over 4 a game against the Yankees and the Padres, and 3 defensive outs away from a 5-1 homestand. And we talked about when this homestand began, this being a little bit of a find out homestand for the Milwaukee Brewers. And man, what great results here. Ground ball to third, Ty France. What away.
Well, yeah, I mean, because you had to face the Yankees and their 3 horses in their rotation, right? Max Fried, Cam Schlittler, and Carlos Rodon. And then the Padres are first in the NL West, and all of a sudden now you're on the verge of going 5-1 on this homestand. You know, taking it on the road against the Twins and then the Cubs. It doesn't get any easier through this month of May with the teams that are coming up on the schedule.
Starting pitchers have been brilliant. Started with the Miz last Friday against the Yankees, and then he pitched last night. 1.95 ERA for the starters in this 6-game homestand. Everybody pitching deep in games. Brandon Sproat got his first major league win on Tuesday.
And with the off days too, BA, I don't think we talked about it much, is that it was a 4-man rotation this time through. They were able to skip Chad Patrick's turn in the rotation. He was able to come out of the bullpen a couple of times, throw bulk.
Called strike 3. The knuckleball from Waldron. Contreras strikes out. Yeah, good point. Woodruff is on the injured list, but progressing. Had to have a little cleanup in that shoulder. And Sophia, there is hope that Brandon Woodruff, I think he feels confident that it's nothing serious. Not sure how long it's going to take to get him back on the active roster.
Well, he did throw a bullpen earlier today, BA, so that was a good step forward for him. Remember, he had that procedure to drain the cyst in his shoulder. He was able to start playing catch over the weekend, bullpen today. They'll continue to ramp up from there. The next question will just be whether he goes out on a rehab assignment or not, considering the time he has missed. But again, everything going in the right direction for Woody so far.
Yeah, he fought that rehab assignment the first time he came off the injured list to start the year and did well. Sanchez pops this one up. And Waldron with a quick inning. And here we go to the 9th. Last call for the Padres. Brewers with a shutout going. Can they finish off this homestand with bookend shutouts? Fitzpatrick back on the mound. Brewers trying to put the finishing touches on the Friars on this Thursday afternoon. 7-0 Milwaukee. Generally a stress-free afternoon at the ballpark for the Brewers. Kind of running this game like a spring training game since Harrison left after 5. Inning apiece from Hall and Granderson, but now Fitzpatrick out there for a second inning. Nobody in the pen. And you're hoping Fitzpatrick can bring it home. Homestand started with a 6-0 shutout of the Yankees. And the Brewers have a chance to post another shutout here in the final game of this stand. 1-1 account on Laureano. He tied him up. Awkward swing. 1-2 now. Kyle Harrison's ERA drops to 2.09.
Wow.
With his 5 shutout innings today. And with 3 more outs, would go to 4-1 with a 2.09 ERA.
Yeah, the Brewers are 6, if they can finish this off, 6-2 in his starts.
Laureano pops this one up out to Mitchell. And Fitzpatrick mowing him down. 4 in a row for the big lefty.
And making a case for himself to be, inserted, not only to stick around here with the Brewers, but be inserted in some high leverage situations. I talked to Rob Zastryzny a couple of weeks ago about that very thing, and he said, look, this Brewers team, Murph, Chris Hook, the front office, they don't care what your name is and how you got here. If you can help them get outs, you're going to be placed in situations to help them win.
Right off the end of the bat. That might spin fair. It does. Right to Vaughn. Oh, no. He bobbled it. And safe at first. Oh.
The ball's got a cut on it.
Yeah. Ejecto mitt. That's so much spin. A very similar play in the Mets game last night with Mark Vientos. Yeah.
Oof, right off the heel of the glove.
Oh, just a bad feeling if you're Andrew Vaughn. Castellanos will reach on an error. Ball's got a little smiley face on it now. So 1 out. Here is Freddie Fermin. See if Fitzpatrick can get a double play ball out of him.
You're wondering how a ball can get cut by hitting off the cap of the bat. Most bats are actually cupped. So that means they kind of drill out the top of the bat to take some weight off, and that creates a situation where it can cut the ball if you hit it off the end.
Yeah, sharp edge on that. Fermin's got one of those bats. The cupped bat.
Yeah, I needed plenty of cup on mine. I needed more cup, less weight.
All the weight goes to the end of the bat on the swing, so that's one of the ways you try to take weight off. 0-2 the count on the Padres catcher. In the air, right center. That's going to fall. A base hit. Frelick fires to second and just in there. Castellanos. He's not the fleetest of foot. Pat Murphy may want to take this to a challenge. Frelick with a gun in right field. And no challenge here. So first and second on the little flare by Fermin.
Castellanos takes a deep sigh of relief, because that's going to cost his teammate a hit if he is out.
Ooh, that was close.
Oh, wow.
All right. 2 on, 1 away. Here's Bryce Johnson now. By the way, you mentioned Rob Zastryzny. We wish him luck. He's going to be in his first rehab assignment tonight with AAA Nashville. He's been on the injured list all year with a left shoulder strain, and Zastryzny finally getting to the point where he can pitch in a game. And he's chomping at the bit to get back in the picture here with the Brewers. Serviceable left-hander.
His point in saying what he said is it's not like that in every organization. This is the organization that really values is how you can help them. Doesn't matter if you were a high draft pick, doesn't matter if you were acquired via trade. You can be signed as a minor league free agent, and if you can get outs at the big league level, they're going to rely on you.
That's the way the organization has to operate. Can't do that in a lot of the big market franchises. At least there's this unwritten rule that you can't.
Right. There's just not going to be as much leash to a player that really doesn't have a name behind himself. And There, as we see Abner Uribe crank it up. Something that you were hoping to see in today's game.
7-0. Maybe a little early, but saw McGill kind of going through some exercises there. Uribe is a guy that likes to throw a lot. I mean, he loves getting on the mound. I'm not saying he's up there on his own right now, but he is cranking it up quick. And Fitzpatrick issues a walk. So now the bases are loaded. You're back around to the top of the order. Craig Stammen has already removed Xander Bogaerts and Manny Machado from the game, and Chris Hook on his way out. You may have seen that adrenaline flush for Fitzpatrick after his 3-up, 3-down 8th. But honestly, you had a little squibber that was mishandled in an error, and then a little flare to right field. Now the walk.
Yeah, ball's still coming out good. Just missing in that last at bat. He needs a ground ball right here to get out of it. Left on left situation right here with Song.
Second at bat for Sungmoon Song, who came in for Bogaerts. He walked his first time up in the 7th. So they're loaded up. Shutouts in jeopardy here. One out in the 9th inning. Brewers have not announced their starting pitchers for Minnesota yet. We do know Logan Henderson's going to get Saturday's game. Buy him an extra day's rest. Henderson last pitch Sunday. Still have TBA for Friday and Sunday. I would imagine Chad Patrick would be part of one of those scenarios, potentially tomorrow, just a guess. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Because of the Brewers off days that they've had recently, they've been able to tighten up their ranks in the rotation, even with Woodruff going on the IL. And everybody responded on this homestand. The 1-1. There's a ground ball. Flip it to second, and that's all they'll get. And the shutout is over, but the second out. Padres get their first run, be an unearned run. It is 7-1. Song with an RBI. And the Padres down to their last out. Let's check in with Sophia. Sophia, any news on what the rotation may look like in Minnesota?
Well, yeah, you're right. Part of it was just how they were going to get through today and what that would mean for Chad Patrick. They wanted him to be available today if needed, so could likely see him Friday or Sunday. And he was the guy that was kind of pushed out of the rotation, but the Brewers made it clear that was kind of just a product of the schedule and utilizing the off days around the weekend series with the Yankees. So he made 2 great relief appearances, and he told me that Saturday night appearance where he followed Kyle Harrison, it was not scripted. He didn't know that he was pitching that day coming into it. He said it was great for him mentally, just kind of was able to dump some negative thoughts that he had and kind of freed him up mentally. We saw the stuff tick up for him, the velocity tick up. So we'll see kind of where they decide to slide him in, if that's Friday or Sunday.
All right, good stuff, Sophia. That's going to do it. Tatis grounds out and put that one in the books. The Brewers with a 5-1 homestand, 7-1 the final here today against San Diego. Vinny, they sweep the Yankees. They take 2 out of 3 from the San Diego Padres to first place team.
And they were 1 pitch, 1 out away from sweeping the San Diego Padres as well. What a homestand right here by the Milwaukee Brewers. And look, they were 5-1 and they only got 4 plate appearances from Christian Yelich. So think about how good this team is going to be when they get Christian Yelich back fully healthy with that back. What a homestand. Go on the road and see what you can do against the Twins.
Pitching tremendous, especially the starting pitching. Brewers put a win on the board.